Hello and welcome back to Vox Terra. The show's purpose it is to get people to focus, your purpose and my purpose, get people to focus politics on the long-term survival of the species. So last show, I put forward the reasons why we are entering an era of unprecedented extreme weather, yet the media rarely or only in passing connects the dots back to excessive burning of fossil fuels, is because the media is dominated by business interests, chief among them fossil fuel petrochemical industries, some of the most powerful on the planet. I gave you some good bullet points to just cut through that media silence. Well, today I'm hoping to do the same thing, but with a peace agenda. Now, I want you to let me watch the whole video and let me know at the end if you think this is a good topic for the long-term survival of our species, or if you think I'm guilty of tying in too many issues here. So, stay with me. I'm going to cite from The Guardian, NPR News, The Conversation, and because when you get into these talks about war and peace, a lot of people feel like, well, you're criticizing your own country. No, it's not like that. So I'm going to quote from the Bible right now. Matthew 7:5. Look at the beam in your own eye before the speck in your neighbor's. Humbleness and self-criticism. I've been paying attention to politics since I was a very small child. So I remember the impression I got from the mainstream news media about the Iranian Revolution. Well, the impression I got was that there was this man, the Shah, a good dictator. Maybe he was a good man. And then there was these crazy radicals who wanted to live in a theocracy, meaning a government that has a big religious component, and they overthrew him and ruined a good thing. Maybe they did ruin a good thing, or maybe they didn't. But what I did not know until years later, that might have given me pause in my view on Iran at that time, was, and I'm going to cite from the Guardian NPR News article here, 1950s, Mohammad Mossadegh was Iran's prime minister before the revolution, before the Shah, he was prime minister before the Shah, a widely popular, beloved, fairly and democratically elected, at least that's how it's viewed, okay, that he was there fair and square, and he was beloved, and he was popular, and he was secular, meaning he believed in that religion of church and state, or that separation of mosque and state, in the case of Iran. But here's was his crime. Here's what got him into trouble. Now, we barely knew this growing up. We barely knew this. We barely know this today. Here's what got this popular prime minister in trouble with the West, I'll put in quotes. He nationalized the oil industry, which belonged to British Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, later known as British Petroleum, or BP. So, quoting again, Britain then appealed to the United States for help, which eventually led the CIA to orchestrate the overthrow of Mossadegh and restore power to the Shah. So that's how Iran had the Shah. Well, people were unhappy with this, obviously, but there was more. The Shah, working with our security forces out here in the West, and we don't know this, okay? So there's no blame here. The public really doesn't know this. Was involved in torturing people. Now, we didn't hear about that at the time. We don't hear about that now. Now, before you say, hey, that's ancient history. Ancient history. Well, I believe Iran still has a nationalized oil industry. And I learned this quote in political science about this ancient history stuff. A power tactic is delay the news until it's no longer news. You get it? So, but more current, the Iraq War. The Iraq War. Well, guess who else had their oil industry nationalized? We didn't hear much about that in the lead up to the Iraq War. So I'm going to quote from the conversation here from a Robert Smith, a lecturer in international relations at Coventry University. For decades, I'll drop that voice now. For decades, the oil industry in Iraq was in the hands of the Iraq National Oil Company. The slogan, Arab oil for Arabs, was one of the most popular slogans of the Ba'athist era. Saddam was in the Ba'ath Party. Well, we didn't really learn much of this, did we? Had we? Did we feel different about things? I think so. Because I went from being a young kid who was watching the news and kind of pro-war, if you want to put it that way, to finding out these other data points. And I quoted from the Bible for you. To seeing it differently. Sincere constructive criticism is welcome. Comment your thoughts. And please, subscribe. Click that notification button. And until next time, peace be with you. Or PBWI, peace be with you.